If you're ready, say, I'm ready. If you are not ready. So, by default, if you're going to like have private sessions with all of them, maybe you should pay like $50,000, maybe 100, to have a one-on-one consultation with them. We're going to get it basically right now for free. So we're going to take specific questions that are specific to people's need. So don't ask questions like, how do I get 1 million naira to start a business? So ask specific questions that you feel like from their experiences and their journey thus far, they'll give you specific answers that will get you started. Is that fine? So I'm going to start with any of the VIPs that have a question, any of the VIPs that have a question. All right, please, any protocol stand by to pass the mic. I need someone very swift to do this for me. I need one of the protocol people, please. So there's a mic here. Come. There's a mic here at the DJ stand. You can just pass that mic. Then if you have a question, can I see your hand up? Your hand up, okay. So there's a person here, please. There's someone here. Hello. Why is he running? Here. God bless you. That'll be the first question. Just come towards the direction, please. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you to speakers. My question is to Ms. Deborah. My name is Arenze. I'm a business developer. I'm a sales guy too. So I want to ask, what practical steps can I take to improve my niche when it comes to business development in terms of company coming into Africa? Because when they come to that skills of businesses, right, sales, they rather bring their guys. That's what I noticed. They rather bring guys there from business development and everything. So they think like, you can't really do it. Even though you know the ground, you know you have the networks, you know how best they can better develop, how best they can better penetrate the system. But when it comes to something like that is not hard skill, like coding and design and everything, they don't see it as, oh, this guy will be good at this skill, or this girl will be good at this skill. So when it comes to business development, to sales, how can I better, position myself to companies coming into Africa as a freelancer? Thank you.
All right, sorry, I'm going to have to make you rephrase. So, are you talking about foreign companies coming to build or setting up, say, maybe an arm of their business in Nigeria? Or if you could give like a practical example or something.
Okay. I was once with Paycom, that's OP, when they came into Enugu, right? And I studied their business. I entered Keke, when they started doing Keke, and then I kept on asking questions. How far, what are you guys facing and everything? And these guys were telling me things I've already studied, that I've already written down. Say, okay, these are the problems these guys will be facing, or they will face in future. Little did I know that they're already facing it. And eventually, I went to their office, and I said, okay, this is what I think you guys will face in the future. I suggested about 4 products for them that they can. And the assistant to the Chinese guy saw it and was like, this is good. I think you can come and work with us. Okay. And they offered me a job. I worked with them for 2 months. They were not saying anything about it.
What were you doing for them?
I was a rider manager.
Okay.
At some point, I went to telesales. And when I was there, I was trying to push. See, these guys, you guys will have problem with this. You guys will have problem. They were not talking about the idea, so they were like, you don't know anything, all this kind of thing. And when I apply to some places online, they will be like, okay, I had an interview. And I think we have someone that will better do this. If your skill is like a hard skill, like coding or something, I think it will be better. I think we have. So in that aspect, I think you don't know. But like the case of OP, I didn't say they cracked because they didn't take my idea, but I know that's one of the things that made them. Just a few months down the line, they packed up. Because they brought in these big guys in quotes, and they just splash money around, and they're not paying attention to the things that they need to learn.
All right. Thanks for that question. From your story, it's obvious that it's not you, it's them, right? And there are situations where there's nothing you can do about it. In some cases where you're trying to support, say, a founder or a project, and you're saying, okay, this is what I think would be good for your business. It's now left for them to listen to you or not listen to you. I mean, for obvious reason, there's a reason why OPE is probably not like, what they used to be before now. So it's probably just an issue with their organizational structure. But in terms of like personally positioning yourself, I think one good way to position yourself is just building experience. Because that way it's easier to access even more opportunities. So you've worked in XYZ, you've done this for these people. That way it puts you at an advantageous point. When you're speaking, they know that, okay, this guy has actually done this and he has, built a lot of success stories. But there are times that people will not listen to you and it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's just now looking into it and making sure that you put your energy into, projects, into collaborations that are mutually beneficial. Because again, what we realize is we just waste our time, on a couple of projects or developments that really do not benefit us in the long run. Thank you.
That was amazing. Can we celebrate Debbie for that amazing answer? All right, now I'm going to say this. If you're going to ask a question, please ask it in 2 sentences. I was actually joking anyway. So let's take another question. Let's take from there, the fake guy raising his hand. So remember 2 sentences, right?
Good evening, everyone. Okay, my name is Victor Gilbert. I'm a software developer.
Okay, let's do it like this. Can you come to the center of the hall? That way we won't have all of those sound clashes. I feel like people are enjoying the food, and I'm saying, It's all good. Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
my question goes to Chris Annie. It's a great privilege to be here. So I believe that getting a great idea is one thing. As a young person, there are lots of young people here. So getting a great idea is one thing. What's the balance between So I would like to know the balance between implementing your idea right now, building yourself, and also working on the idea. Like as a young person, like definitely, obviously, you want to make money, you want to pursue other, like he made mention of acquiring the skills and stuff. So what's the balance between, I have this idea right now. It's almost in my mind is like, I can already see people using it. At the same time, where I am now, I need to build my career as well. And also, like, what's the balance there? Building the product and building yourself. How do you combine? I don't know if you get my question, sir.
Okay, so the first thing first is, the most important is you. You have to build yourself first. Forget about the idea. Develop yourself first. It's the skill that you have that will determine how fast, how far, and how good you can build. You want to be something, you have to work on being than having first. Be that person before you have that thing. So there's no strike between the balance of, I want to build this, I have this idea for something. When I was growing up, I wanted to be like Bill Gates and all the other big guys. But those things are just wishes on their own first. When I was growing up as a child, I can remember, because I'm the first child in my home, so I can remember using our dining table for board meetings with my younger ones. And I was the chairman of a company called Special Bank. So, but those things were just there, career, thoughts, ideas, and all those things. Okay, they are different. For you, you should build yourself first. If I had not gotten a skill in crypto trading, I wouldn't be a skillful trader or investor today. So my wish to be this is dependent on the skill I possess. So it starts with you building yourself before you go in executing those ideas. And you may not necessarily need to acquire everything first to be perfect, okay? But have the basics and just build yourself to a certain level. And let me tell you something. By the time you even start, personal development is a lifelong thing. Learning is continuous. It doesn't stop. Hope I've answered that. Thank you.
All right, celebrate.
I would love to contribute to that.
Okay, cool.
Okay, let me share my practical experience. Sorry, wait. You're a student, right?
No.
Are you up to 30?
No, I'm not up to 25.
Are you up to 25?
No, I'm not.
Are you up to 22?
Close.
Man, you have... Sorry, but this guy is sitting on the peak. He's so... Like, as I am right now, I wish I can go back to this age. Now, when I was around 22, I was a street dancer. Now they laugh. You know these people that share flyers with MTN? Like, share flyer, go climb balls in somersaults. I did it, and I was a student. To tell you the kind of family I come from, I'm from a royal family. My parents are Nopo. So for those of you here who is coming from a middle-class family, may not enter your head. I was a street dancer. I contested for director of socials. I won the election. I will host campus events. Just understand how my own flow came up. I will host events. You go to Better City. So you're supposed to know me. I was everywhere. I will host events like parties every Saturday to collect gate fee from school just to make money. I was a street dancer, all those 2K, 1.5, 3K a day or something for a student. It's not like bills are high, like your bills and my bills are not the same for now, right? So I was making money there, I would host events, and then I noticed that the poster was costing me a lot of money, and I had a laptop. I would pay graphic designer, I would go and pay for printing, I would pay to hang it around in the night. Guess what I did? I had to become, in fact, for me to use someone's picture on my poster, they would charge me. I had to start putting my picture there as a performer to cut down costs. I had to learn graphic design, so I would design my posters myself. I had to learn printing, so I would print my posters myself. Now my event, now me go design, now me go. So I never knew those things were the skills I was building up. It's now that it's important. Because I cannot hire any media person or a graphics guy. I cannot hire anybody that is someone that I can make better design than. And I can tell good design from bad designs. So I did graphic design. From there, I started commercializing it. I would design for other people. During the days of BlackBerry, Pinky, right? I would do DP. I was a popular designer then, so I would design birthday cards for people that would put it on their BlackBerry DPs. It will be blink. Sometimes will make your eye to be blink. There was one time Wizkid picture went viral that he was gay. I was the one that designed that picture. Those were the early days of Photoshop. These were around 2012, 2011. So I designed Wizkid, painted his lips pink. So it went on, posted it on my Twitter then, and then people started retweeting it that Wizkid is painting his lips that he's gay. I didn't know it was going to go viral. But I was a designer, and then I was getting gigs. I would put my BBM pin. Jobs were coming from different places, and I was connecting with people. I moved into printing. I started printing for others. If they're doing SUG election, I'll be the one collecting jobs from people contesting in campus. So I became very popular from school. I was doing a couple of stuff. From there, I ventured into poetry while as a student. I'll go to class, my chicken go there, as lecture they finish, and they go my farm from farm, and they go back. I know they stay one place, and I'm all sometimes I will carry my laptop. I go around basically with it everywhere. Job will come, I will sit down there, I will do it. Even while I was in secondary school, I did fix shoe. I did it. I did everything. So it's about your curiosity. At this age, you have no business trying to balance life. Don't try to balance anything. Learn everything you can learn. Try to know everything. When it will become important is when you start crossing 25 into 30s.
Thank you very much, GT. I hope you got that right. Let's celebrate GT for that response. Now, before we continue with taking questions from the audience, I'm going to ask them specific questions, and these questions probably go around for everyone. So I'm going to start with Debbie. What advice will you give yourself at 18 years if you're going to go back to age 18 and you want to build the kind of portfolio you have right now? I watched one of your videos yesterday on YouTube. I didn't know you were into music. Yeah. Should I tell them? She's a drummer, actually. A very good drummer. You were not clapping. I saw a video on YouTube yesterday. I was like, wow. Which was showing me yesterday. She was a very popular drummer. She has played for Rude Boy, P Square. Wow. I'm serious. Sorry to say this. I don't know if you wanted me to. But it's a very good one. Okay, so at age 18, if you're going to go back to age 18, what would you want to advise yourself to do? And there was silence in heaven.
I think, so at age 18, I graduated university at 18. Wow. Yes, it's a long
Please
story.
Celebrate her
I'm
now.
not going to share that here. I graduated university at age 18. And at that point, I was very young. I didn't know what I kind of knew what I wanted. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew what I didn't want to do. Okay. Right? Yeah. And what I would tell myself at age 18 is not to overlook opportunities. I remember that time I didn't want to work in a bank. I didn't want to work in a bank at the time because I felt I was too young. And the opportunities that were coming during that time was, do marketing, sell accounts. Yeah. Who do I want to sell accounts to at the age of 18? And so I said no to banking initially because my dad always wanted me to be a banker. I also loved bankers, but the ones that work in the office, that wear suits, stay in the ACs, and all of that, not the ones going out selling accounts and pretty much. But what really helped me was that even as young as I was, I would call it strong will, right? I knew that, okay, I wasn't ready for this, right? And it's just all about awareness as well, self-awareness. You know what you're capable of as a person at every given point in time, and you pretty much just, walk in that direction. And so what I would say is, don't say no to opportunities. I think my first gig, actually, I think that was when I started music full-time, moved to Lagos. I started working with BOUQUI. I don't know if anybody knows her. She's a gospel rapper, Morile Konlorile, that's rap song. And then she pretty much just asked me, have you played for, an A-list or whatever artist? I said, no. She said, can you do it? I said, yes. I'd never done it before. She said, can you come to Lagos tomorrow? I said, yes. I've never been to Lagos. Right? But then, when opportunities present themselves, except, of course, it's not in line with your direction, we shouldn't be lazy. It's easy to be complacent. It's easy to say, this thing will stress me. But at the end of the day, as he said, all of these things add up eventually.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, GT, to you, what advice will you give yourself at age 18 if you want to get to where you are now, probably do better?
At 18?
Yeah.
At 18, start planning to leave my father's house. I actually left earlier. I left earlier. At 18, don't be expensive. Be very affordable. At 18, be inquisitive. Does these three things. Plan to leave your father's house. don't be expensive, be inquisitive.
Wow, that was very strong. Okay, Chris, can we hear from you?
At 18. When I was 18, there was Bitcoin then, buy Bitcoin first. Okay, but at 18, learn to sell. Learn selling, learn the skill, learn how to sell yourself. At 18, master public speaking. Get those soft skills early. And if you don't have the strength to build, look for people who are building. See, embrace things like internship fast. Embrace working for free in a company you choose you like. And if they give you the opportunity, serve them. Because with that, you're going to be building solid networks ahead for your next 5, 10 years. Okay? And what other advice? Like, what were the things I did that, yes, personal development, take it serious. Okay? And also in your youth days, serve God. Thank you.
All right, amazing. Amazing. The next question I want to ask them, this is important. What are your daily routines like? Basically, we could categorize all of them right now. Our 3 amazing speakers are as billionaires, maybe our multi-millionaires, but don't build them anywhere. But they're amazing people with big companies that have very big valuation. What are your daily routines like when you wake up? What do you do? I'm sure we all want to hear it, so I'll basically start with GT.
Okay. One of the things I do daily is first when I wake up from 4 a.m., 5 a.m., I'm more jamming to my Christian music because I have seen shaggy. There's a kind of shaggy you see, yo, calm down. So I just wake up early. Nothing wakes me up. But I'll just wake up this time and then sleep no good day again. So I'll just start playing my Christian music. Once this morning, maybe 10, I should be expecting my breakfast. And then the next thing is that I'm already checking. Before breakfast, I'm already on my server. What is going on? Are we under any threats? Is there any impending threats? Have any Yahoo boy was any Yahoo boy awake while I was sleeping? Yes. My work is that I have to fight scammers every day. And I fight them on different platforms. So, is any thief trying to take money from where they did not put? I do that every day. And I'm always catching them. My CTO will call me EFCC, say my job, I will do very well on EFCC. Because I do a lot of technical investigations. Yeah. So I'll eat, go back to it, and speak to my team. Then maybe around 12, I'm all on YouTube, Twitter, trying to know, okay, is there any what's the news? Who do I need to drag on Twitter? But I'm only doing that because that's my level right now. So it is different for the next person. And I'm checking supports. Are there pending issues regarding technical team that needs to be looked into? And then I'm always on the products. Right now so there's a problem we currently have that we wanted to buy a lot of these new Big Brother celebrities. Okay. Starting from the winner, Fina. Gathered all of them, Fina, Chichi, and then list of them is telling me a month, 5 million. And I wanted to gather about influencers, about 30 of them. I wanted to litter the internet with my advert. So cost implication for me to do marketing, I was looking at 100 million just to do marketing. I told myself, nah, bro, I'm 100 million. Nah, I'll use this money, do and that's, And then it down to me, I can do it the cheaper way. Yeah. Right now, I'm already trying to launch another company that I never planned. This one is like 3 years, and I'm now totally leaving tech I'm leaving blockchain. I'm not trying to jump into marketing. So because it's a problem for me, I'm trying to build it, and I'm going to milk it first for like 6 months. When I'm done milking it, I'll launch the commercial ad network for other companies to use. And it's going to be review-based. It's going to be feedback-based. It's going to be platform. It's going to be across
Platforms.
yes, different metrics. So I'm currently writing the product. I'm designing it as a product designer. After designing, my technical team will build. After building, I'll still audit. And then that's what I do basically. I'm basically a geek. I don't have routine. Whatever comes, goes for me.
How do you feel to only see people use your product? That's for you. How do you feel when you wake up and people are using your product every single day?
That's why I have no close shop. That's why I still have mine to be building more. And like I said, when you want to build anything, don't build what you will not use. Don't build for people. Build what you will use. Like now, I'm trying to build a new product because of the problem I have. I'm trying to cut cost on marketing, and I'm trying to do the marketing myself. So why I'm building it is that I'm going to use it to help a lot of other struggling startups that have low marketing budgets. And I'm also going to use the platform for my own marketing first.
Amazing.
So,
okay, so over to you, Debbie. What's like your daily routine?
All right. So it's pretty much a regular routine. When I wake up, I pray or listen to gospel music because it just helps me kickstart my day. After that, I check my email. That's like the first thing I do. I check my email, what's coming. So I check my email 3 times a day. I check in the morning, I check during my day in the afternoon, and before I go to bed, I check my emails because I like to keep tabs on, what's going on per se. And I have a to-do list. That's the most important thing. The important application on my phone is my notes because I don't know, I just forget a lot. I forget things a lot, maybe because there's a lot of things that I do. Some people think they say I smoke weed, but I don't think it's because of that. It's been something that I've had to deal with growing up. It was bad that I didn't know how to cram in school. So if I don't understand it, I can't pass it. So it's just the way my memory is amazing. So I keep a to-do list. I check. And my to-do list never ends. There's always something to add, something to do. And then, that helps me really streamline my time. Because what you see, it gets to a point where you're doing so many things at the same time, and then you forget what matters. Sometimes I add to to-do list to call my mom. Sometimes I add it on my to-do list, call your mom, call your friends, do this and that. And then, of course, work, do my meetings, and then, so to end my day, I watch movies.
Wow.
Because that's how I relax and detox from all the craziness.
Do a movie recommendation for us. Maybe 2, your favorite, 3, 4, 5 movies.
I've seen a lot of movies.
Top 5.
But
Top 5.
no, maybe I'll say 1. Currently, what am I watching on Netflix?
Interesting.
I don't know. I can't even remember titles. Maybe before you go around, I'll just quickly check my Netflix and tell you top 5 shows that you should check. But it really helps me to calm down. That's the way I calm down before I go to sleep.
That's cool. So Chris, what's up?
Okay, so my daily routine, let me look at Don't worry. Don't worry.
Leave this part.
Okay, so so for me, I have to make this part interesting because yes, I wake up and first you want to pray. But since I got married, my wife wakes up before me to pray. So it's when she wakes up to pray, I join her to pray. And the next thing is I go and brush my teeth because there's breakfast on bed.
For those who are planning to get married, you should come for counseling.
So I'm actually I'm actually eating, and it's quite interesting. Then the next thing is, and so it depends on when I wake up, because I'm supposed to go to the office, that's the next thing. So what I do is I sit down in the house, I plan my day, and so after planning the whole day, I check what's up in it. So the next thing is, from the whole planning, the next thing I'm already working. Next thing so as the chief executive officer of a company with about 60 employees and several departments and all that, you start, okay, what are the carryovers from what I didn't do yesterday? I look at that. I look at who I need to communicate with. And before you know, maybe by 12:01, I'm already on my way to the office. I don't go to the office immediately because my house is close to my office. I try to just allow, so I just come in, then check what again I'm supposed to do in the office. So that's literally work. Now, there are days when my day starts with me going to the market. So after praying, I may not even eat, I'm already in the cryptocurrency market. I'm a trader too. And sometimes the market is against you. You know that day is somehow. And the market is for you. So it happens like that. And how do I end the day? So after office, I like to leave the office late. 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. I like to make sure that everything that I need to fix for that week has been done. So I have my associate, my executive assistant, Chigozie. So I'm in the office. Chigozie is reminding me, you've not done this, you've not done that, you've not fixed this, you've not fixed that. So I work on it and I go home. Now, when I have a bit of fatigue and I'm tired, I tend to just go back home. There was a time when single guy, I won't even say because he's single guy, I was the workaholic guy. I was 3 a.m., I'm still writing books. But I think since some months now, or for this year, I've reduced a lot of things with my night work because health-wise, it affected me and I had to now change. So the only time I could work in the night is when the matter don't pass. And I need to, sometimes I don't sleep in the night, not because I'm working, but because I'm getting inspiration. Very dangerous moment for me. There are things that could be bothering to me in my company, in my life, in my family. They could be bothering me, and the best way for me to tackle that issue sometimes is to pray. But when I don't pray, I sit down to think through solutions that will make that thing happen. And when I get it, I go and write, I go and type something on laptop, I go and work on it, and I pray, I just go back to sleep. Okay, so for recreation, sometimes, maybe once in a month, I tend to just go out, cinema. One of the best cinema experiences I had when she was talking about movie was watching Wakanda, yes, Black Panther 2. We had my younger sister, my wife, and one other family friend. We went together by 11, 12 in Lagos, midnight, at this thing in Lekki there. We went and we watched till about 2:30, 3, and it was fun for me because that was the first time I was experiencing midnight cinema stuff. And sometimes single people not like this. I sit down with my wife when I'm less busy for the whole thing, and we just watch Netflix. And I can remember this Netflix one because she mentioned Netflix, and there was one we watched 2 days ago. And even when I was trying to sleep while still watching, it was so interesting and all that. So I try to make sure there's a balance between me doing all the entire work, and I'm trying to also reduce trading on Saturday, which I've actually stopped. Okay, so that I can actually have enough time to do beach, travel, family time, and all that. So work takes a whole lot. A part of me also does not all the time. It could be once in 2 weeks where I take my time to just pray about so many things I need to do for now, for my future also. So that's basically how I...
All right, so Chris, you have a big team. You mentioned you just recently paid your team, your staffs rather. So for those of us who are listening to you right now who want to build products, business...
Boski here. Let me post a video.
Boski, yeah, he's here. Yeah, for those who want to build teams and probably have partners, what would be your advice for someone who wants to build a product and want to work with a group of persons?
Okay, so I like that question. Boski have this. And please also capture our crowd too. Okay, so I started my company with volunteers. I'm going to state that again. You know, some of us say, we've been bootstrapping. Yes, we've been bootstrapping. Your journey may not be like my own. I agree. But one of the things I learned early, and I learned the power of volunteering and working with people to volunteer with you while I was a student on campus. My friend Israel is not here, the guy who came to the airport to pick me to. Back then, when I had Big Brains of Agriculture, an agricultural cooperative, it was like my vice president. So immediately I saw people who were interested in the vision, and I gave them appointments immediately. You may not necessarily do that first, but when I even started Daba, I worked with volunteers. I am that kind of guy. I think mine is a special gifting, where when people come around me, I want to build them. I'm like the guy who those cavemen want to work with David. And when they come, they don't have anything. They don't have much skill. They just have, and David trained them. So the first set of people who worked with me were people who came around me. They were attracted by my vision. I'm a charismatic person. If I go somewhere now and I want to start something, I'll get people who want to work with me. Okay, because they're attracted by the vision. So the moment I see that you're attracted to the vision and the dream I carry, I start seeing that you can do one or two things. I just give you one work to do, one assignment to do, and once you start like that, you could grow to become something big in our company. The current lady who's the head of operations in our company, her name is Stephanie Ronald. Yeah. Stephanie Ronald started as a video person for me. So she attended our conference, my conference, when I was in Daba conference, I think 2020 or so. And after the old teachings and all that, she went to do a video on her own. I'm like, wow, that video was so, I loved it. I said, okay, fine, come and join me. Just like Jesus and the disciples. I said, join me. I said, join me like that. From joining me to do videos, I wasn't paying her for months. Then, before you know, she joined the WhatsApp group for my team. She started doing one thing. So I'll tell her, okay, these guys are doing this, monitor them. So by instinct and by seeing what she could do, and I said, you're good in operations. We even gave her money to go and do one training in operations and get a certification. And from being just normal operations officer, okay, I told her one time, I said, see, you can't continue doing remote work. I need you in Lagos. And we rented an apartment for her in Lagos, near the office. I said, come and work with us in Lagos. And she obeyed. She said, no problem. Left her mom. And guess what? The same year she got married, she got her husband, and she got married. She has gotten that level of promotion. She's the head of operations now, monitoring several people, monitoring several departments in the company. Several people have worked with me like that. Chigozie came as a student, from buying my course. One day, threw it like an insult to me, says, sir, your course is too cheap. I said, who is this boy? I can't say my course is too cheap. He says, sir, I paid $1,000 for an affiliate marketing course in the US, and I know what I got. And I see what you've been doing. And we kept on chatting. I kept on asking him questions. And I said, can you teach affiliate marketing? He said, yes. I said, come over to Lagos. So we came. Next thing I was in Dubai. Then, I've not gotten married then. So my wife then came from Port Harcourt, came to Lagos, monitored him, and made sure he finished all the whole course on Daba and like that. So I was working with volunteers. Today, Chigozie heads digital marketing in our company. He's my executive assistant. He's also somebody who heads a lot of things with our OTC trading. Now, the first set of people I couldn't pay were volunteers first. So when my company got to a level where I could pay salary very well now, I started doing real hiring. And those people who were volunteers were now those helping to hire. I can tell you I was running my company until 2021. That's when I got someone to do HR. And it was in 2021 we hired somebody to do HR, our first HR manager. She has spent 1 year with us. We have a new HR again. Company has expanded. Guess who are doing the HR for us? Steph, my wife, then Damola, who was my graphic designer, who rose from graphic design to UI UX. Damola learned UI UX under my company, moved from there. I gave him Daba app as his first test app. He built Daba app, became our product manager, like that. So people come around me. I make sure they are trained. I make sure they get developed, and I see that some of them now work with me. The guy who is our CTO was normal content developer year 2020. He just comes around and says, I want to help you develop content. So I said, okay, no problem. Take our MailChimp. So he takes all the MailChimp, and he's the one sending email. 2019, 2020, he was the one sending emails. And from there, he said he wants to learn this old coding stuff. I said, fine, go and attach with this person. And from there, boom, the guy is there, learned, and the next thing he has grown is our CTO today, okay? And from there, we've hired several others. I think in our engineering or product team, we have about 8 people or so, or 7 or so. I don't even know the numbers because I've gotten to the level where I'm trying to build my company to not have an attachment with certain number of staff. Because when the initial one was started, there was a time when some people who I was building with left me, and it got to the end of me begging them that, oh, this company will succeed. You guys should believe in what we're doing. And that thing broke my heart one time. So you could be in that stage where people you believe in or you don't believe in you are walking away from you or telling you, guy, you've not made money, you've not raised money, nothing has happened. See, that thing gave me energy. I sat and I said, if they leave, I can do the job of 10 men. I used to use it to threaten my employees. I said, don't think because I'm the CEO of this company, I cannot pack diesel. I can do all these things. Okay, but doesn't mean I insult them. But I told those guys, if you leave me, I'll show you guys I can do the job of 10 armies. And when they left, my company saw an expansion because I did not allow that thing to demoralize me. I used it as a motivation to build, and from there to day we are hiring. I can come to the office next week now and they say they've hired 3 people. I don't know. Because I've developed a system and a process. So one of the things you should do as a founder is learn delegation strategy very fast. Learn to delegate. See, let me tell you, some of you want to hire people or you want to tell people to do something, and you're expecting them to be perfect. No. Give room for failures. Give room for errors. The first Daba app was having all kinds of errors. But today, if you open the Daba app on your Google Play Store, it's one of the best edutech app you can see from Africa. When I watch the videos that we pull from Daba app, I'm like, wow, we built this thing. But 2020, people who complain of bugs, people who complain of error, I allowed my engineering team to still grow, okay? Because I couldn't afford to be paying even $1,000 then as a fee. The guy who built the first Daba website version, I was spending $50,000 to do all the work. So the guy would do landing page. He would just go and find a way. He does it with no code and code and bring it like that, and we're using it and we're enjoying. And from the first $1,000 we made on Daba, I started paying him from there. And like that. So learn delegation strategy. Give people the room to fail. Doesn't mean they should continue making mistakes. Give them room to also make mistakes. And even when you correct people, okay, make sure you also hire somebody you can fire. I find it hard to sack people. I don't know why. So I think that what I just do is that I just use, thank God for the HRs, that I don't do that. Because me, I'll be looking like, if I want to sack you, I'll start thinking, well, we are paying you salary. What if your salary you're using to feed your family and all those things? So when I think of all those things, but if you have that system, that process, okay, it can help you out. So learn delegation strategy. Always know that in making a vision work, you need a team. It is a team, it is teamwork that makes the dream work. No matter how you are Ronaldo, you need a Modric, you need a Bruno Fernandes, you need people to still send passes to you for you to score goals. So when you have that team mentality, learn delegation strategy and allow your team to fail. And from there, from the failure, you can assess what has been done and correct it over time. And from there, you give room for improvement. Thank you.
Did you guys learn anything at all? Please celebrate him. I feel like this is a master class on its own, right? Cool. So I'm going to ask GT the next question. I'm loving this session. I wish he came first. Then we'll start wrapping up very soon. GT, if there's someone right here now in the audience whose monthly salary is at the range of $200 to $400, right? Okay, let's use Naira, maybe 100K to 300K. Yeah? Let's use Naira. And he's hoping to build wealth. What do you think he should start doing? Let's say he's working, doing a 9 to 5, maybe working in a restaurant, doing whatever he's doing. Maybe he's even a social media manager, whatever the person is doing. But what do you think the person should do to put himself on track to create wealth, whether ending up being a CEO or having his own product or doing amazingly well?
Firstly,
I think he's low. You might want to use that mic. He's low.
Firstly, I'll take it from 2 angles. Okay. So if you're a salary earner, are you being paid for your skills into the company, or you're paid for your services into the company? Skills, I mean graphic designer of the company, the video person, anybody that does crafts. You know, skills can spread differently across industries. For a manufacturing company, the skills can be engineer, the machine operator, and all. But for the service person, it could be marketing and all that. So If you're skill-based, you need to create a side hustle from that your skill. Let's say you're a graphic designer or you're a video person. Go to Fiverr. Go to 99 Design. The very first place I made my first dollar online is 99design.com. That was 2014. I think I joined 99 Design a year after joining TikTok. I joined TikTok in 2013.
So now you follow those pioneer sets for TikTok.
Funny enough, I don't even have up to 500 followers. What am I doing on TikTok? I'm not doing anything there now. But I make sure I claim my name on every social media.
Yeah.
If I hear of any social media today, I go there and claim my name. VK, Eddie's crew. I make sure anything I hear I'll go there and claim my name. Good talent. So any place you go, you find me. Even on Tinder, I have to go and claim my name. Right? I just claimed it. Make sure that nobody is using my name anywhere. I have accounts, separate places. So for someone who have skill, you could look for platforms where you could sell this skill after your work. Now, the money you make there, you could start using it to micro-invest.
Okay.
You could buy into, now we're in a bear market, you could buy stocks, you could buy crypto. Give it 1 to 3 years from now, you will do better. Now, while you're learning skill, use your salary money. Okay, you can use your salary money to sustain yourself or to invest. Or you use the money you're making from your skill to micro-invest. Now, while micro-investing, you're already doing something else, so you don't need to force yourself. Do not leave your job to go and do something, start something afresh. I've said this thing before, and I know why I'm saying it.
Yeah.
A hard reality will hit you that you will miss your job. So always have that backup at every point in time.
Wow. Amazing.
So from there, when money starts coming in, you could start selling. Maybe you can now build a course. There are a lot of online learning marketplaces. There is Daba there. You could reach out to Chris that you can do this thing. That there's a graphics course already on Daba does not mean you can also, he will host you. He can have more than one course on his platform. If he refuses to host you, go to Udemy. There are plenty places. So do not limit yourself.
Right.
You could create course and start selling that. Before you know it, you find yourself figuring out other stuff. It just comes natural. You don't have to overthink it.
Right.
It just unfolds.
Awesome. Are you guys getting something? 3 more questions. Now, Debbie, this is for you. If you're going to build a new blockchain product, you already have your company, you're doing excellently well. If you're going to build a new blockchain product, what would that product be? Just at the top of your head.
I think it would be a payment infrastructure, and this is what I mean. Well, I'm not sure if it already exists, of which somebody is probably thinking about it already, right? But a situation or an infrastructure that allows me spend my crypto easily, within the shores of Nigeria, so I can walk into a store and pay with my debit card, but that debit card is backed by crypto. I already have a card like that I use, but it doesn't work in Nigeria. So I'd like to create something like that here.
Wow, that's cool. So this question goes to the 3 of you, but you're just going to list them, you're not going to explain it. If you're going to build a company right now, a new company, new product, everything new, what are the 5 things you are going to do first? So take your time and think about the very first 5 stuffs you will do, whether it's hiring or whatever. Just list the 5 things. If you're going to build a new product, a new company, you're going to start from afresh, everything. Isimbido, scratch. What will you do 5? What are the first 5 things you will do? It's a very serious question, and I feel like it's going to expose all of us to know so much reality about you people and how you think, your thought process, and what you want to do. So if you're ready, I can call your names. Are you ready, GT? Okay, let's do GT.
Okay, so if I'm to start from scratch again, first thing I will do is I'll go crazy on TikTok. I'll go everywhere on the media. I'll try to get the attention on myself. That is one.
Okay.
Secondly, I will seek for volunteers. Just as Chris said, about 5 of my employees right now, the addition we made in Q1 this year are all volunteers from Crypto Church. Let me digress a bit.
Okay.
So before we started Truzact, I tweeted, what if we have a platform where an open community where people can discuss crypto, share calls. You know, if you have a call to give, if you have a project, you can come and talk about it. Anything, discuss anything crypto. Are people going to volunteer to become the admins that I cannot run it alone? I saw people commenting. So I think it was the next day, I was in Transcorp Hotel with Obina Iwuno, founder of Crypto Bootcamp.
Okay, yeah.
So he was complaining about the platform. I had to give him a rundown of what to do. I told him, you cannot continue to be a community. You need to move from being a community to doing more. You know? So we discussed everything about Crypto Bootcamp. And then it dawned to me that what I just told Obina is what I can do. And I told him right there, this thing I just told you, you have to copy it. If you don't copy it, you watch me do it. Obina thought it was a joke. I was sitting there, I went to Telegram that day. I just thought, I'm launching Truzact. I need to start a community. I called it Truzact Crypto Church. Do you know why it's Crypto Church? Because I was already tweeting about the market. I tweet futuristic about crypto.
Yeah.
Like, I put it on my WhatsApp status that said, on the 10th of this month, I do 4 days before, 4 days after, that the market, BTC should be trading around 14K to 11K. And that's next week. So we should expect another dump. And then I put these things out, most of the time, like 80% of the time, I'm correct. So people started calling me crypto prophet, church, prophet. And then I had to come up with a name around it, church, crypto church. And then I created it right there. Obina was my first member in Truzact. I added him. I told him, anything I'm doing here, make sure you implement it on Crypto Bootcamp. Today, Crypto Bootcamp is a brand name. It's big. I'm seeing Crypto Bootcamp everywhere. Like, I'm like, man, I'm a fan of what you're doing. So when I created it, I tweeted it. About 200 people from my tweet alone moved into the group. I told them each person from that group should add 50 persons. In 1 week, I had 10,000 people in the group.
Wow.
10,000 people that joined from nowhere. I told them, just be adding. And we were having live sessions. We were discussing crypto. That was when I had the energy. Now I don't have it again. So then I asked people to volunteer that I need admins. We did, we started calling them pastors, crypto church pastors. Like, we don't call them admins. We call them pastors of the church.
So you ordained them?
I was the Daddy Gio.
Do you lay hands?
Yes. I was the Daddy Gio. So for each of our sessions, we call it Truzact Crypto Church Service. Weekly we used to do
Bible study.
And it became interesting. I don't know if any of you know Thanos the Trader on Twitter. Are you guys aware that Thanos is my boy?
Wow.
He's from Crypto Church. Wow. So I raised Cuban Lord, a lot of guys from that group. And I told them to go out on crypto. They should not stop. So the volunteers there eventually became my admins. And then when the Truzact app went live, it was from those volunteers that we hired. And then now some of them are now working fully as team members of Truzact, while other ones as admin are now going about their life doing amazing. Thanos is there. Tayo is there. I've forgotten her. Fairly Trade, or what's that her name again? Okay. But a lot of them came out from that group. So get volunteers, people that buy into that vision. Forget about the money, even though you need the money.
Okay.
The money should not be the reason, because if money is the first thing, you will get frustrated.
Okay.
So the money, that's the third. Okay. Forget about the money. And then make sure that what you're building is a problem that affects you, something you can use yourself.
Okay.
So look for a solution. Build around something, a problem you're having. So now we have, if I'm to build anything on this Southeast, I tried manufacturing and it's giving me sleepless nights because of security issues. If I'm to come back to Southeast and do anything, I will build something around security. all I need to do is to build an app, send a demo to a company in China that can customize maybe a drone or a camera that is very affordable, less than 50K, a pin camera that can be tagged into a phone, a device. I'm giving an idea now. It's free. Copy it. I'm good at it. If you're a developer here and you can design a software that can be encrypted into a very tiny device, very cheap, shouldn't be expensive, shouldn't be more than 10,000, that everybody going everywhere can buy and hang on their clothes. That thing should be able to track your location, and it should be tied into an app where you can invite your family and friends. That people will buy it 10K and install the app into your device and add their family and friends about your location. You should be able to record voices. If I'm to build a new thing, this is what I'm going to do.
Wow, amazing.
Because it's a problem. Why we build on it is because its security here have affected something else I wanted to do. Yeah. So
that's amazing. Can we celebrate GT? Then this is like basically the last question, but Debbie, can you answer it? What are the first 5 things you would do if you're going to start from scratch?
Okay, so just to make this quick,
yeah.
I will take that product I talked about just now.
Payment.
So if I were to build that product, first thing is I will write it down because it takes time to actually develop an idea.
Okay.
I do that as well when I'm thinking about something. I just write it down and build it over time. So take, for instance, I want to build a payment infrastructure. Who are the people I'm targeting? For me to do that, I need certain licenses. I need a SEC license. I need a virtual asset service provider license. I need a couple of collaborations. I need to talk to card issuance companies. There are a lot of things that it's not just saying, okay, I want to build a product and this is it. All the moving parts, I identify everything that I need to do before I kickstart. And the next thing is to focus my energy more on building.
Okay.
Right? I've learned a lot from building in public, building and learning on the go. So I'd rather, just sit back, focus my energy on building my, MVP. So yes, this card, you can fund it with your crypto. Then when you fund it with your crypto, you can pay utility bills. You can, you can even have a physical card that you can use at ATMs or POS terminals. You can even send to, bank accounts. You can open a savings vault. You can do multiple things. That's a lot of things. Then the third thing is to come up with a roadmap. You can't start everything at once. Okay. What do I want to launch with, right? What's like my low-hanging fruit? What's my quick win? And which will most likely be a virtual card, because then you're not dealing with any physical infrastructure yet, right? And I noted something. What I would also look at is my revenue model, because what we've realized, and Mr. Chris mentioned as well, is it's very difficult to raise at a time like this. I mean, it gets more difficult as well. And you don't want to rely or be dependent on investors' money. So how can you build your product in such a way that it can sustain itself? Yes, you need money to build and all of that. I mean, if I were to build a second product, I need to at least have some funds to start with. So what it means is that I'm not, looking up to investors to give me money to build. While I'm building, I'm also making sure that there's a very solid revenue model behind what I'm building. And last is have a roadmap. How do I plan to, build this product over the next couple of years?
All right, thank you very much, JB. Then over to you, Chris.
Okay, so that was a very strategic question, and I was writing on my WhatsApp, on my notes, and I had to just, number one, if I'm to build a new company, right? Yeah. 5 things I will do. Number one, I will invest massive energy in video marketing.
Wow.
I'll create videos every week on all social media platforms, and I have all video platforms, so I'm going to have videos. And I'll say the reason why. The likes of, since I'm not from a rich home, I want the world to hear me. So since I'm not from Stanford University, Harvard, and I don't have I got this idea from Tai Lopez. Yeah. Tai Lopez is one of the, if you're building anything on the internet, study Tai Lopez. I know a lot of people are fading him now, but that's one of the god of the internet marketing business. Study Tai Lopez. He was the father of video for us. and even what I've learned from my guy, Nas Daily, my mentor, sorry, please. So I'll do video marketing. Number 2, I'll start working with volunteers. That's number 2. Number 3, I won't forget this. I'll create a solid legal structure. Not leaning on legal advice nearly cost me a lot of percentage in my company. Because, when I started GT Abundance, I had 2 co-founders. And guess what? And I'm going to say this clearly. This is how I started GT Abundance. I said, I have this idea, passion. I said, Debbie, take 30%. You, take 75%. Me, 50%. And the guy collected it clearly. I said, nice. No lawyer. The guy went to now use his lawyer. We sealed the deal. And this guy was not working in my company for almost 1 year. The guy said, remove your deal. He said, you pay me. I paid for that. So don't joke with legal. See, even if you're running a 3-man company, 10-man company, even if you don't know, go and hire your friend as UNN lecturer or UNN legal, UNN law student. Tell him, interpret the law for me. Do CSC, do whatever, draft. Don't go into any business. Find a way to protect yourself. That's the essence of that legal structure.
Yeah.
The next one I will do, I will network like crazy with VCs and potential customers. Now, I've been telling people about bootstrapping, but I must tell you the truth. If you give me another new business to start, I don't want to bootstrap. And it will be part of the next one I'm going to put. How many have I put?
4.
So this number 4, I'm going to classify why I want to network early. Network early, like crazy. On Twitter, follow the VCs. Talk about what you do. Follow the investors. Follow the entrepreneurs. Follow the business leaders. Go and send them DM. Tell me 6 things you think I should not do in my business that will help me last. Build network with them. You know why? It will lead me to the last one I want to put. But I wish this is even more than, but whatever it is. So that network, I'll network with VC. Why? Because a time will come, I want to do this next one. I want to raise capital fast and early when I think I do not need it. In business, staying liquid is better. There are businesses that are not making money today, but they are still liquid and they are in business. The moment in 2018, I knew the power of liquidity. I said I would never make my business go broke. I do all the work. As at December 2021, I planned the 6-month salary of my company. And I had it in the bank account. And I said, for 6 months, we're going to spend some amount of millions. Okay? I'm anticipating that sales may go down. So let me have this here. So for 6 months, I could have what I used to pay salary. And guess what? On the 6 month, money finish. I needed to start Daba Kids. I brought out $30,000 from profit I had from one of my trades like that. I took that $30,000. When we were doing our last management meeting for the year 2021, I said, I am starting Daba. I want us to start Daba Kids. And I'm committing this $30,000. Take it now from me. Oh. So the accountant collected the money, and we now had to lodge it in a bank account. Guess what? That $30,000 is what we spent the entire year for Daba Kids. And we've not launched any product. So guess what? From that $30,000, we hired somebody to do one consulting job for us. We paid the person about $4 million. The person did a rubbish job. We cut it down as a loss. Around that August or so, we hired someone who was going to take charge of Daba Kids. Guess where we paid him salary from? From that 30,000. Guess what? We now converted that 1,000 because they took it in crypto before, converted it to Naira, kept it in our Zenny bank account. Now, if they are paying that guy who hired for head to come and design the curriculum for Daba Kids, I don't stress myself and say it's part of this thing. This is from that money we are paying him, and we're still building the product, okay? And we're still hoping that we're going to raise money. So stay liquid. Then this one I will advise everyone who is in tech. So that is, I mentioned 4, right? Because I want to use that 4, network with VC, because one day I'm going to raise money. Number 5 should be travel, network, and register your business outside Nigeria. Register your tech company in the US. The reason why Paystack had that money is because Paystack is not a Nigerian company, it's a US infrastructure business, it's a company. Cheaper cash, all your major tech companies, Flutterwave, Go and register as either a Delaware company and put it out there, because one day you may need investors outside, and they will ask you, are you a Delaware registered company? And when you combine I think if I combine these things, I will do well. And that's what I've done. I've registered Daba school, Daba kids abroad, okay? I've put my pitch deck. I've been networking with VCs, and some people have been networking in the past 6 months. I've not raised yet, but I'm seeing the headlights. But listen, when you're going to raise money, don't think that is by putting pitch deck and they'll smile at you and say, oh, your idea is good. Take 100,000, take 1 million. No. The reason you need to do that, and that's why I like number one, and this thing helped my mentor, Nas Daily. Nas Daily as a company, NASCOM Academy, whatever they built, they are running company in loss. But in the past 1 year plus, Nas has raised over $17 million. You know why? His phone. Video. Everybody knows Nas. The guy from a village in Israel. Everybody knows. So everyone wants to associate with Nas. So he's raising money because of the name Nas, not because the idea is superb than your own. If I combine these things, I think I'll succeed.
Please, can we celebrate Chris? Now, I'm going to stand up because we are done, but just before they stand up, just one sentence from you all. What advice will you give people of Enugu just before you go? In one sentence, what advice will you give these amazing people? Camera, I hope you guys are recording this, because we're going to cut it, and we are going to push it so hard. One sentence, okay, let me make it 3 sentences. What advice will you give these amazing people that you want to come back to next year? Because I'm sure you guys are coming back for this blockchain conference next year, and you want to come back and see the impact in their life. Just 3 sentences.
Okay, so I'll go first. First of all, I want to promise you that if you invite me again for any blockchain event or any event that has to do with developing people in Enugu, I will come. Number one, aside every other thing we've taught you, even if you fail, don't think that's the end. That's number one. You will start this journey, you will meet several failures along the way. It won't be so easy, but in the midst of it, persevere and stay courageous. Number two, I know everybody keeps saying it, believe in yourself, believe in yourself. But let me tell you something. There are things I've achieved over the past 2-3 years. And sometimes if you tell me I would have done that, I'll tell you, But see, believe, that word, believe in yourself. I'm going to repeat it again. Say, I'm going to put you myself. And you're going to say it again, and you're going to mean it. Don't take it as motivational that Chris is saying. Impossible is nothing, so believe in yourself. And number 3, I think that you should celebrate all your journey you are having in Enugu, because a lot of you will look back 5 years, create memories, put all the pictures you need to put for your startup here in Enugu. All the events here, put all the pictures. Put all the time when you're even in the hostel and you're drinking Gary, put those things in video and pictures. Put that, if I knew what I knew today, those time I was going to buy a car along Presidential Way, I'll put it inside video where the woman was giving me Jara. I'll put it inside those videos. You know why? Because tomorrow you'll be in San Francisco, you'll be in Dubai, you'll be in Singapore, you'll be in different parts of the world. And guess what? You'll be living so much exotic life, enjoying life, developer, you're working in a company, you're using the train, you're in a private jet, or you're in a plane, you're everywhere, you're this. Those pictures of the future you've carried, the same way you want those pictures of the future that you've held, also snap these experiences, because your story will inspire somebody tomorrow. Thank you.
So Debbie, and that is 1 minute from Chris.
All right, so I'll just take a cue from what Mr. Chris said. I'll say 2 things. First, grow your network. And secondly, you know why you should grow your network. I think we've talked a lot about that today. And second will be, do not stop developing yourself. Self-development is a constant thing. And one good way to do that, as I think GT mentioned earlier, is to get mentored. look up to people that have been there, done that, people that you can learn from, because that way you make fewer mistakes, right? And a lot of people ask, oh, these people that I look up to, you hardly find them. How do I, if I want to talk to Chris, how do I get in touch with Chris? Oh, GT is usually not available. How can I get in touch with them? To be honest, you don't need to meet people one-on-one to get mentored by them. Something that has worked for me is if I find somebody that I really admire and I look up to, I follow them everywhere on Twitter, Instagram. I go for their conferences. I watch their videos on YouTube. I listen to them on Twitter Spaces. However I can connect with these people. It was so crazy at some point that I had to start volunteering for events that at the time I knew I couldn't afford, but I wanted to learn from these great people, these great minds. So I will volunteer to be a social media person, carrying camera, up and down, just to make sure that I'm able to hear and learn from these people. Self-development is very, very essential. That's pretty much what takes you far, because at the end of the day, one, we're limited by what we know. So we need to keep improving on what we know. And then two, we can't give what we don't have. That would be my final
That's
words.
amazing. Celebrate her, please. And then to GT.
Before I say the three things, I would like to reference Chris about documenting your journey. So in 2015, while I was in my room that year in school, I made 2020 video. I recorded it in 2015 to be posted in 5 years' time. Unluckily for me, I lost the laptop. So what I did in 2020, 1st January 2020, before COVID, was to record another video, called it 10 years, posted it on YouTube, scheduled it to go live 1st of January 2030.
Wow.
Whether I'm alive or not, by that day, the video will go live. You people will see what I looked like.
Child.
So, I also have a flash drive. I've been documenting a lot of my pictures, even right from the days of my graphic design, like I talked about. Yeah. I've not lost a single picture in that hard drive till today. So if you ever took any picture with me 8 years ago, just know I still have it somewhere. I don't lose data. So that aside, learn, be curious, ask questions. That's one. Find out about everything. Wise. If I were you, if I go back home this night, what you should be checking on Google is, what is Daba? What is Afen Group? Who is Chrisent? How much is Chrisent's net worth? Follow him on Twitter.
I mean,
go to the people he's following. Start following the people he's following. Go to Twitter, follow good talents, follow the people I'm following. That's how to figure out who to follow. Check the kind of tweets I like or engage. Some of you, if I go your tweet like, it's not impressive at all. Some of you, when you have a problem with a company, you go and drag them. There's one that's Zenith Bank wanted to hire. He applied for Zenith Bank. And then the HR went to Twitter and brought out where he was calling Zenith Bank the most useless bank. And that was how he lost the job. Companies have issues. There are customer issues. Instead of going to tear people down, see, it is not easy building.
Yeah.
It is difficult doing it here. For those who are building, if there is one thing I have track record of, is that you never find me dragging any company. The only company I dragged at the time was, there was one company I just mentioned, that why did they reduce their products? That they filled air. It was Milo, Nestle. Why did they fill air into the Milo I bought? I complained. So, don't be in the group of those who tear people down. You can banter, you can do order, but why bantering? Try not to tear others down. It is difficult building anything here. So learn, put yourself together, you're networking, you're meeting people, you're becoming a better version of yourself, and then believe that it is possible, with or without money. Don't be carried away with money. I know the pressure, the peer pressure we have right now, the peer pressure from the Yahoo boys. If you're not collecting it from the Yahoo boys, you're collecting it from crypto boys. Don't go and be looking at my crypto sets. We are the OGs in this space. This is the father of crypto education in Nigeria. And me, you're seeing here, I don't want to call myself anything, but I know if I tell you that this coin will dump, you have to be very careful. Don't argue with me. Because I know my onions there. So the fact that you feel I've done well or I'm doing this, doing that, my life should not pressure you because we did not start at the same time. The person who brought you here for you to meet me is my student. So you need to beat him first before you beat me. So take your time, everything will happen and it will fall in place. Just believe in yourself. It is going to happen. Thank you.
All right, please celebrate all of them. And just please, just before they go backstage, because once they're going, you will not see them again for now. I would like all of the VIPs to quickly come on stage. Cameraman, please let them take a group picture with all of the VIPs, and then we close the event. Please just give them the privilege.
Joshua, I want to tell you that, let this be on record. This year, I've attended several conferences they've invited me to, but this is the most organized conference.
Wow.
You know why? We've been doing this event since 11 a.m. or so, and you guys were seated. People were not roaming around. Everybody was seated and quiet. This is the best.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on this one.
Thank you very much. I hope you guys want to see him next year again, right? Or should we even bring him next month? But yeah, all of the VIPs, please just come on stage very quickly. Cameraman, please take the snapshot. Please, Uche and Emmanuel, please, you guys need to be here. Uche, now please, can I have you? Both of you, I think.